Hello, you're watching Ray Path Productions here on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. I am your host, Chloe Folan, Clairvoyant. I would just like to extend a very warm welcome to everybody who's taking time out of their evening to tune in to this live broadcast. And a very warm welcome to all of those who, due to time differences, won't be catching up with the show until after the live broadcast. A very warm welcome to you as well. I will be taking a call or two during my show this evening, but I just wanted to take the first 10 minutes or so just to bring up a topic that's cropped up in the last week or two that I do feel is of importance, just with discussions I've been having with people, questions I've been asked, things that have come up with client work that I've done and workshops that I've been running. Please do keep in mind that this show is being live broadcast from Ireland, so we are currently we're in the Northern Hemisphere this is being broadcast from, and we are in the waxing moon phase. So we're coming very close to the end of the waxing moon phase. The full moon will be starting on August the 15th, and we are coming into more of an autumn phase. And the reason why I want to bring that up is because in some practices, it's waxing moon time that's very good for setting new goals, and full moon time is very good for fullness, manifesting, giving extra energy behind something that you're already doing. And the reason why I want to bring this up is considering we're coming into a time here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're coming into more of an autumn cycle. If you want to tune in more to the natural seasons, and that's a nice way to help tune into your own energies, to learn how to work with your own natural cycles. We're coming into a cycle where we should be more reflective, and we should be starting to wind down and take it more easy. So I've been offering the advice, and I did have a post actually about this on my social media pages, that rather than trying to do something new or trying to initiate a new big project, have a look at what you're already doing. And anything that's half finished, anything that's only half completed, anything that needs a little more attention, to look at tying up loose ends, to look at bringing things to completion that you're already doing. So by the time we do enter into winter in a couple of months' time, you can take more of a break. You can enter more into a rest cycle, because you still will be doing things in winter, but try to practice having less of a to-do list for winter so you can completely pull back, have a bit more of a break, and have a bit more of a rest cycle as much as possible. So I've been offering up the advice to people to have a look to see where things need to be finished, where things need to be completed. And the other reason for that is it is part of healthy self-esteem and healthy personal development to definitely learn to be able to set a goal and achieve a goal that you never thought possible, whether it's a goal over clearing debt, or a goal over doing a course, or a goal over traveling to the part of the world you never thought you would. Any type of goal, any big new goal, it's really good for self-esteem to be able to go, do you know what? I've never tried this before. I want to see if I can do this, and with this thought out plan, I'm going to see if I can achieve this. That is a part of very healthy self-esteem, being able to do that and experience that more than once, being able to achieve something you never thought you'd be able to achieve. But then on the flip side, it's nearly a paradox. It's very important to look out for what can creep in when you start to do that. So like that, a lot of people talk about setting goals, setting intentions, and achieving your goals. A lot of people are very quiet over the flip side of it, where it's really important to be just as confident doing as you are not doing. Because what can sometimes happen, and it catches people by surprise, it can catch people off guard, is sometimes then someone can become addicted to doing. And all of the doing that they're doing becomes a form of escapism, whether it's avoidance over certain emotions they're dealing with, whether it's avoidance over sorting out something at home, whether it's avoidance over dealing with anything really. And that's something to definitely be looked out for, to make sure that when you are learning to set goals and learning that you can achieve something that you put your mind to, knowing that you can do and achieve something new, it's really important to then look out for not using that as a form of escapism, that you then don't start only feeling good about yourself or only feeling like you're worth something if you are always doing something. You know, it's in my opinion, it would be one of the marks of personal maturity, being a person who is just as confident and happy doing as they are not doing. It's really important to be able to balance both, to have times when you're doing and times when you're not doing. And when you are having a time when you are not doing something, that you feel just as happy and just as confident, that you don't feel like you're missing out, that you don't feel that you should be doing something, that you don't feel, you know, I think everyone understands where I'm going with this. So like that, please do look out for that, that when you do experience being able to have a full calendar, if that's something you never achieved before, or being very busy in ways you thought you could never be busy, that you do take a private step back and make sure that that's not starting to be used to avoid other areas of life, or is starting to be used to avoid dealing with certain emotions. You know, there would be something a little bit amiss and maybe in need of deep healing if you do then take a break and all of a sudden don't feel good about yourself because you've taken a break from doing. That in itself would be something to heal. Practice getting into a place where you feel good doing both, achieving and not achieving. And if you do have the wherewithal to notice, if you're starting to use doing as a form of escapism or avoidance, to have the aligned maturity to go, okay, I think it could be creeping in here that I'm using my full schedule to avoid dealing with something at home, or to avoid dealing with my own emotions, because when you're busy, you're just on autopilot sometimes, to then seek to heal that and get yourself into a place where you're just as happy and at ease doing as you are not doing. It's very healing to be able to do that. So just to recap, to anyone, you know, who does like to take on board any little bit of advice that I do give during my shows, that between now and winter time, rather than big new goals, look to see where you need to tie up loose ends, where you need to bring anything to completion, so you can just let go and enjoy the winter months, just relaxing. I believe we do actually have somebody calling in. I believe we have Anna Lee from Denmark. Hello, Anna Lee, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
Hello, you're most welcome. It's a pleasure to connect with you. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, it is correctly.
How can I help you, Anna Lee? Did you have a query you would like some guidance on?
Yes, I do. I have been writing a book. It's a children's book, and I have. I'm trying to get some kind of a what do you call it? A publisher to print the book out And this is the third one I have delivered my book to. The two first ones, they said no, they didn't want to print out my book. And now the third one, I'm waiting for the answer. And my question is, am I on my right path? Should I stop the writing or should I continue? Is this the right place I have delivered my book, or what is going on? Because I really didn't think it will be so difficult, because it has been really joyful writing the children's book. It's about fairies, and the story is very, very sweet, and it's a book where children learn a lot of things. It's not just a story. It has a lot of wisdom in it.
Absolutely no problem, Annalie. So just so I know I've understood your query, because I will use tarot as well to tune into your query to get you some answers, is your question, are you on the right path with writing? And when will you be able to find a publisher, a timeline on that? Is that your query?
Yes.
No problem. Give me a few moments while I draw some cards for you just on your query to get some deeper insight for you into what's happening around your book, or books, I should say. Two moments, please. Now, number one, definitely do keep persevering with writing. So you are not on the wrong path with writing. And I meant it deliberately when I said books, plural. And definitely this has already been quite a journey for you, because the past card I have that's acknowledging everything that started you down this path in the first place, it was actually a lot of turmoil or a very tumultuous experience that did actually bring you down the path of writing. You've already made quite a lot of sacrifices to get yourself onto this path. So I first of all just wanted to acknowledge that the powers that be through this reading are also acknowledging that all those sacrifices haven't been in vain, that definitely this is a genuine skill that you do have, and it's a skill that you should keep on developing. So don't put all of your efforts into just one area of writing. Use this as an opportunity for expanding, for writing in different ways. You know, not just limiting yourself to a book or just books. You know, definitely see this as an opportunity to expand and network more with other writers and look at writing in other ways as well. So definitely this is a good path for you, and this is a path to keep pursuing, but it will require more patience, because what I'm also getting through the cards, and what I actually had images of even as I was shuffling the deck, is if you keep getting no joy with current publishers you're approaching, have you looked at the option of self-publishing? That's always another option. And if you haven't noticed, a lot of authors are actually doing that now. And a lot of authors are doing that for two reasons. Number one, because of social media and the internet and the different ways people are getting information and accessing writing and social media, a lot of publishers now aren't taking on board a lot of books because everyone is putting things online. Everyone's accessible through the internet or through video. And the other reason why a lot of writers are also looking at self-publishing routes is because, depending on the way they do it, they hold on to more of their royalties. So there are a lot of there's pros and cons to everything, but for a lot of writers at the moment, a lot of writers are looking at self-publishing for a myriad of different reasons. They get to retain copyright over their own material. They get to keep their own royalties. They keep more control over their own content. So rather than seeing the current difficulties you're having with publishers as a block, have a look to see what redirection Spirit is trying to give you in looking at other avenues, not just limiting yourself to one or two particular publishers and thinking that you can't make it as a writer unless one or two of those publishers take your work. So definitely that's what I'm getting here in the cards, especially with the Two of the Swords, that you are getting a redirection here. So it's not for you to take it as you shouldn't be writing or that you won't be published. Spirit's trying to get your attention for looking at other avenues and looking at other ways you can get your work out there. So like that, I do believe it's going to take, we are in August, September, October. It might not be until November, Annalee, that you actually make headway with publishing. I am unsure from the cards whether that is through a traditional publisher or whether that's through your own efforts through finding a self-publishing route you're happy with, or there are routes where it is a good mix between publishing and self-publishing. So definitely I would see this as an opportunity for you to do more research into self-publishing or looking at publishers that work with the authors more, where they don't just take over your book and then do it all for you, where you are an active participant more in the gallery of your book. Am I making sense?
Yes. I haven't been thinking in those directions, so that definitely opens new doors and opportunities for me. I will definitely do some more research and find out what opportunities I have. So, yes, I do understand what you're saying.
There will be opportunities in November, but it will be through you looking at other avenues. Don't just put all of your hopes into one or two publishers. I guarantee you when you start looking into this, your eyes will be opened over how much opportunity and the wide scope there is for how you can publish. This is Spirit redirecting you to look at other avenues and not box yourself into pinning all your hopes over just one avenue. So I guarantee you in November, with more research on your part, there will be movement forward with you publishing in some way. But let me leave you with this, Annalee, before I bring the reading to a close. What a lot of authors do not know is that when a traditional publisher accepts your book, the IBSN on the back, they own. So a lot of authors do not realize until they go down the route of traditional publishing that that book and the book's contents, the publisher acknowledges you as the author, but they become the owner of the content, Annalee. And a lot of people don't realize that. So like that.
I haven't thought of that at all.
There are ways, and this is where I want you to do research with self-publishing, where you can purchase your own IBSN numbers and not only retain all legal rights to the work and content, but retain your own profits. So like that, please do more research and look at both sides of the coin over traditional publishing and then self-publishing, and there are ways to publish that fall in between. But please do your research and there will be good news for you in terms of publishing in November.
Oh, that sounds so good. Thank you so much. That gives me hope.
You're very welcome.
And that makes my heart happy. Having hope and new opportunities.
This is about seeking new opportunities. And Annalee, if you wanted to contact me again in the future for any reason, for any reading advice, please contact me through my website. It's just my name. So it's www.chloefolan.com. The easiest way to get me is through my website.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Annalie. Take care. You're very welcome. Have a good evening.
Who's listening? Thank you.
You're most welcome. I believe we have a second lady who would like some advice. Karina, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, Karina, you're most welcome. I believe you're calling from Montana. Is it in the USA?
Yes.
Perfect, Karina. It's lovely to connect with you. Do you have a question you would like some guidance on?
What I'm doing for my daughter, is it really the best for her?
Okay, and can I just please ask the age of your daughter, if you don't mind, just so I understand the context of the question when I draw the cards?
She's 7. She'll be 8 this year.
Okay, so your query is for your 7-year-old daughter. Are you currently doing the right thing by her and for her?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just shuffle the cards here and just draw some guidance cards for your query. Now, this is very interesting. Karina, I'm not seeing that you're doing anything wrong per se by your daughter. I would like to come to talking about what I'm seeing around your perceptions over what's going on. I have a card here for the present that's showing that there are some blocked perceptions going on. Sometimes when you're very stressed and when you've been going through something that's been going on for a while, that I'm seeing that this isn't a recent occurrence you're asking me about, that one's perceptions can become very blocked and you can feel more trapped in a situation than you actually are. I also have a card here acknowledging that maybe due to some financial worries and some financial concerns, that is adding to stress as well. And I'm looking at the cards here over a way forward, where it's not that I'm seeing that you're doing anything particularly wrong. This is more about you finding, feeling that there is a more emotional peace in your life, and also feeling like you don't always have to be on the lookout for things. So in other words, the situation I seem to be seeing is a situation where you're feeling very stressed, where there are some physical limitations going on, and that is causing some issues in terms of feeling like you have more choice financially over certain things, that you really do want to do what you're doing with your daughter, but those issues are blocking things, and you seem to be feeling like you've got to be on the lookout for another person. So like that, are you feeling like there's somebody who's going to really deeply criticize you or block you from wanting to do something with your daughter? Is that partly what's going on here?
Yeah.
Okay. Like that, I don't think you need to be as concerned or as worried. I would be more saying to you to find some peace and just enjoy, time with your daughter, and just enjoy the time you have with her. In other words, if you were with your daughter on a desert island, what would you be doing? Would you be at the playground? Would you be playing, board games? Would you be bringing her to an after-school event where she'd be broadening her talents? So in other words, sometimes a good way to shut out all of the noise is to pretend that you're on a desert island with nobody and ask yourself what you would be doing. So in other words, you'd obviously be on the desert island, metaphorically speaking, with your daughter. And if you had no one criticizing you, what would you be doing with your daughter on that desert island? You'd be playing games with her. You'd be sitting down just enjoying basic time with her. You might think about you might be bringing her to an after-school activity that, blossoms her talents. So like that, I would like you to focus more on where you need to heal, shutting out all of the other noise, so you can enjoy time with your daughter. From what I can see, this is more about you as a mum getting some healing more than it is about your daughter needing healing. From what I can see, your daughter's okay. It's more mum who's feeling very stressed out and a little bit paranoid over what's going on around her and possible avenues of criticism from one or two people in particular. So like that, this is more about you going, when I'm having time with my daughter, it's me and mum, it's me and daughter time. It's mummy and daughter time. And I've got this precious time with my daughter. What do I want to do with my daughter? So that's about you having confidence as a mum. And you only get that confidence through playing and having more playtime with your daughter, getting to know your daughter through play, getting to know your daughter through talking to her, getting to know your daughter about, through the activities she enjoys. So this is about you defining your boundaries over having mother and daughter time where it's no one else's business. Is that making sense?
Yeah, I was just more concerned about if I was doing the right thing with fighting her father, because I'm trying to do the custody thing. That's all.
You should be
retaining
retaining
or letting her
some...
dad have her type of thing.
Not 100% no. There should always be shared custody. So if you are looking at fighting him over shared custody, you will be vigilant in that. The outcome card I've got is the 5 of Swords. So that means persevering and coming out the side of this and still having your daughter. So if you're fighting for 50% custody, then that is what you should be fighting for. There's no reason why it shouldn't be 50-50 custody with your daughter.
True.
Just to let you know, I've only got 30 seconds left. I don't want the call to get cut off, Karina, but definitely you should at least have 50% custody with your daughter. And I'm not seeing why you shouldn't have that or couldn't have that. So please continue to persevere to have 50% custody with your daughter, and that's how the ruling should come out. That at the very least, you should be having 50% custody.
Thank you. That helps.
Perfect, Karina. Perfect. It won't last, and it will come out 50-50.